It's truly exciting. In fact, I have a reputation for being overexcited about this stuff sometimes.
They can make quite a lot of money.
Some people think I'm a mad scientist, and, well, I am.
Hello, I'm Ron Barber of Takeoff. If there is anybody under the age of 16 or 17 who hasn't played at least some video games, then he or she has probably been residing in a cave somewhere. Video games have become modern-day magnets for most kids, and that, as you can imagine, is very good news for those who make and sell video games. You would imagine that a lot of the creative types who conjure up these wild flights of fancy make a lot of money. And you'd be right.
The most highly talented, most accomplished people in this business are, you know, a little bit like rock stars or something, to the extent that they can make quite a lot of money if they show that they have the talent and the dedication and the ability to create really successful games. The potential is there to make quite a lot of money.
The largest creator of video games is known to you in one simple four-letter word: SEGA. The most famous character in video gamedom is known to you in one simple five-letter word: Sonic.
Sonic is the company mascot, basically. Sonic was sort of created by the chairman of the company, recognizing that it would be a good thing if Sega could have a real recognizable mascot, something that everyone in the world could associate with the name Sega.
Sega these days might as well be spelled B-A-N-K for bank, and Sonic might as well be spelled M-O-N-E-Y. You've heard the old phrase, license to print money, generally meaning that someone or some product is so successful they've gotten a license to print money. Some examples are very successful people like Bill Cosby, or groups like the Rolling Stones, or products like Post-it notes and video games.
Let's go, Goldar!
It's always interesting to find out how people get jobs and start careers where they make a lot of money and have so much fun doing it. Where else can you imagine going to an important product meeting in your shorts?
It's a limited market. I mean, who's going to want to buy it?
What if the bowling ball was fuzzy and cute with eyes? Yeah.
We have a lot of different people here, people with different kinds of backgrounds and skills. We have programmers, computer programmers, we have computer graphic artists, we have animators, we have musicians, people who compose, create music, and we have game designers who really focus in on game design.
They also have offices that, well, don't really resemble most offices we've come to expect.
We have basically an office here where there's all kinds of toys and all kinds of things to do. We're, of course, working on games all the time, and this is what a game looks like when it's in the stage where we're working on it. It doesn't look like the game cartridge. It really is, this is a prototype game. This game will be plugged into a Sega Genesis here. When you plug this game in, basically we get the real thing. This is a game that's in an early stage, and we have the ability to check all the different levels of the game without having to play the game. That's one of the advantages of having a game in this particular stage.
Now, how would you like to work only the hours you would choose to work? Of course, you'd be expected to produce, but all in all, It sounds rather enticing, what?
We generally don't watch over them from the standpoint of, making sure that they come in the morning at a certain time or something like that. They are allowed a great deal of personal freedom during the day. They can kind of come and go from the office when they feel like it.
Let's explore this further. We'll wend our way into SEGA, hop up the elevator, and take a little look around. What do you say?
Hi, welcome to SEGA.
Instead of a stuffy receptionist's office with old magazines no one ever reads, you'll be able to play a SEGA video game of your choosing, or have a few words with Sonic himself. After a brief wait, if you're fortunate, and we were fortunate that day, you just might get an invite to chat with one of the big cheeses at SEGA.
My name is Roger Hector. I'm the Vice President and General Manager of SEGA Technical Institute. When I was in high school, I was one of these guys that always drew little sketches and doodles on the sides of my papers. And the one thing that I really wanted to do is I wanted to design cars. And at that time, there was no such thing as computer games. Really, it was when I was in high school, they hadn't been invented yet.
Actually, it wasn't this highway where Roger had planned to start his career. It was this highway.
I did go to school. I got a degree in automobile engineering, and I wanted to get a job in Detroit designing cars. And as it turned out, when I was ready to go work there, it was a very bad time for the automobile industry, and there were no jobs available, so I had to figure out something else to do. I had a lot of training in design, in engineering, and in sketching and art, and so what I wound up doing is almost by chance stumbling into a little company at that time that no one had ever heard of before. It was a little, what they call a startup company, and the name of the company was Atari. It was a very exciting place to work. It was a lot of fun, and it was a lot more fun than I ever expected anyone could have in a job.
Yeah, I can believe that designing and playing video games for a living would be a lot more fun than some jobs, wouldn't you?
32X makes processing power 40 times faster. Totally extreme gameplay.
Computers and computer programming will most likely always be in demand, and very good computer programmers are people that are actually a little bit hard to find these days, and there's really a high level of demand. There are many jobs available for actually all of the people that can contribute to and create games. Computer graphic artists who have learned how to use computers to generate their art are also very much in demand. Animators, people with animation skills, it's kind of a subset of computer graphics. But also, those are people that are very much in demand. Game designers. Now, it's a little hard to pursue game design because it isn't necessarily offered as a curriculum in high school, but certainly people that really enjoy playing games have opportunities to move into the game design business, usually through a game testing department.
Hi, my name is Howard. I'm a music director for SEGA Technical Institute, and I do all the Music's and sound effect. Where are you going? Hi, my name is Howard. I'm music director for SEGA Technical Institute. Hi, my name is Howard Drawson. I'm music director for SEGA Technical Institute, and I have all this great equipment here, which was paid for by SEGA, of course. This is my board. All of these sound modules you see in front of you are all run through this board, and then I get mixing levels on each of them, and that's how I put the music together. For Genesis development, I use this computer, and I'm able to manipulate the sounds here in the Genesis. That little crazy looking thing sticking out of it is a music development card, which makes it possible for me to do what I have to do. And I make the voices, flutes, drums, whatever, and I sequence them on the computer. And then it gets downloaded into the game, and then we have music and sound effects in the game. So some people think I'm a mad scientist, and, well, I am. First, the team that's doing the game will come to me with the game, and we'll take a look at it and spec it out and so forth, and discuss what sounds are going to go where, what style of music, and usually they have a pretty good idea about what style, but I'll always offer my opinions. And then I'll usually begin with the music first, and I make the sounds, once again, in the Genesis over there with that development system. And I'll usually start out maybe with a drum beat. I'll make some sounds, and I'll take some drums like these, sampled drums. So I can actually play them into the computer and sequence them in such a way, you know, like, or anything I want, and I can create this loop and these and kind of a drum sound going on. Then I'll take, say, well, this isn't a great example, but we have a clarinet, and I can play some chords over the top of it and actually make my music, make a melody or something. As far as sound effects go, a lot of the sound effects are digitized, meaning that we actually digitally record them much in the same way that that drum you heard was. And we put it in the game, so if you hear an explosion or someone yelling or something like that, it's actually just kind of a recording of it, but it's in a very low resolution. It's 8-bit at 10 kilohertz, and it's not great yet, but it's getting better. I started out playing in bands, and I actually went to college and got a degree in film scoring, and I've scored for movies and etc. And it was persistence and hard work is the key, and studying what music came before you, studying the great masters, great music of the past and great music of the present as well, because there's always something to be learned from it.
Now, you mustn't despair. If the thought of piano lessons is about as enticing to you as sucking on a lemon, there's still hope. A lot of jobs at a fun place like SEGA don't have piano